What's crack-a-lackin'? Welcome in to My Mind is a Weapon Fantasy Football Show.
Welcome into episode 162, everybody. I am your host, SleezBall. Today's episode is going to be my Week 13 quarterback ranking tiers, every single matchup. There is no buys this week. We got by Mageddon Part 1 last week. Part 2 is coming up in Week 14, so it's going to be an absolute nightmare next week as well. Before we dive into it here, guys, make sure you smash that like, make sure you smash that subscription, turn that bell on. We will be live tomorrow for Thanksgiving, an hour before the games, taking all your guys' questions. And if you cannot make the live stream, you can drop any comment you want down below. One of my goals as a content creator is to answer every single one of them for you to get that weekly win and get you that ultimate goal of a championship. And we are close to the playoffs, guys. Let's dive into my Week 13 quarterback rankings. So if you guys are new to the channel, this is my QB new board for Week 13 because I lost everything. So I even added the numbers now for you as well for the ranking position. I usually have team or player pictures down at the bottom for the bye week, but of course there is no bye week this week, so we are going to be ranking out every single quarterback. Top tier ballers, tier 1, tier 2, tier 3, tier 4, tier 5, and we're going to crank through every single one of them here. Starting off with my QB1 on the week, it is going to be Jalen Hurts, the Philadelphia Eagles. They get a massive matchup here with the Baltimore Ravens. The Baltimore Ravens currently give up 20.6 points to the quarterback. They're 31st in the red zone, so a very high touchdown upside there. And guys, they give up 297.2 passing yards per game. So this is an absolute smash shootout game here with Jalen Hurts. And the Vegas has it at 51.5 over-under. So you're going to want every single player in this game. Now, I forgot to throw a shout out to my guys, so we're going to cut back here. I'll get back into the rankings here in a second. Big draft energy, so I'm not doing my start-sit videos anymore, again, because I lost all of my files, everything. I lost 3,000, so I'm scrambling to get everything back for you guys. But this is his Twitter right here. I will link it in the post as well, and his YouTube. Make sure you go smash my guy a follow. This is the most advantageous NFL Week 13 matchups for quarterbacks with fantasy points allowed. So as you see at the top, C.J. Stroud, Justin Herbert, these defenses give a lot of points. Patrick Mahomes, the Raiders. So this is where you want to take a screenshot, whatever you want, pause the video, or you can just go to his Twitter, smash the follow at BigDraftersHeadquarter.com, or not .com, Big Drafters Headquarter or Big Draft Energy on Twitter, and you can find him on YouTube as well. So diving back in here, Jalen Hurts at number 1, my quarterback number 2. We're going to stick with the same game here. Lamar Jackson, the number 1 player in fantasy football. Like I said, this is a 51.5 over-under game here. Probably the biggest game of the week, in my opinion, to watch. Now, you know Philly has the tough front 7, right? So they only give up 13.3 points to the quarterback. I'm throwing the Philly defense out the window here. They're number 2 on the season as well, and they're number 15 in the red zone. And they give up 192.5 pass yards a game, which is number 1 in the NFL, and 0.9 chance for a touchdown. Again, Lamar Jackson, Derrick Henry, different nightmare RPO to stop either way. I am smashing both these quarterbacks as my top 2 this week, and I'm hoping I can hit my number 1 back-to-back because I hit Jaden Daniels last week. Quarterback number 3 is going to be Josh Allen. So you're going to get the 49ers here, and I'm going to look at this game a little differently because the 49ers are beat up across the board, as you can see by practice today. And I'm a Niner fan. I know this. Greenlaw's out. Bosa's out. I mean, it's just absolutely unbelievable on the defensive side. Trent Williams is in practice today for the offensive line. And you're going to be in a snow-cold game here, possibly looking at the weather reports. So when you have Josh Allen in a snow game, this guy's a nightmare to stop. He's probably going to use his legs more than he has to in this game. And I have him as my quarterback 3 on the week. Quarterback number 4 is going to be Justin Herbert. I had him as a smash play last week. It did not happen. He did not pop 20 points in a matchup where he should have. It became a field goal game, man. They got stopped in the red zone. Now you're going to get the Atlanta Falcons. It's a 47.5 over-under. Big implications for both teams in the playoffs in this game. 7-4 Chargers, 6-5 Falcons. I expect Justin Herbert. You have no weather here. You're in a dome. I expect QJ to catch some balls here. He dropped a lot, which really hurt Justin Herbert last week. And I expect the Chargers to get back on track and Justin Herbert to be back in a 20-point play here. Number 5 is going to be Jaden Daniels. My quarterback 1 last week. Absolutely nailed that. He's going to get a tough matchup here with the Tennessee Titans. But when you're looking at the Tennessee Titans, and if you've been subscribed to my channel, I've been talking about how Will Levis is going to win people championships and people don't know it. So now that the Tennessee Titans offense has picked up a little bit here, when I'm looking at this game with the Commanders, Vegas thinks so too. They have it at 44.5. So I think it's going to be higher than that. Jaden Daniels looks like Brian Robinson's going to be out there. You're going to have Terry McLaurin, and they're also going to have no Ladarius Sneed to stop McLaurin. He's on IR. So that's huge for McLaurin there. And Jaden Daniels is going to start using his legs more at the end of the season here. And he's going to be an absolute baller tier probably the rest of the way. Quarterback number 6, and this is my bold call of the week here. It is going to be Russell Wilson. You are going to get the Cincinnati Bengals, guys. The Cincinnati Bengals, on average, give up 20.7 points per game to the quarterback. That ranks 27th. They're 27th on the season and 27th in the red zone. So this defense is very, very bad at stopping the quarterback. I expect George Pickens and Russell Wilson to absolutely fly in this game. They give up 235.1 yards per game in passing just alone. So I'm going to be smashing Russell Wilson in every single lineup I can. And you should have picked him up if you watched my waiver wire video as well. Heading down to tier 1 here. And this one is a little different for me here, because this matchup is so good for Baker Mayfield, but I'm going to temper my expectations. I thought about putting him in the baller tier, right? You're getting the Carolina Panthers, and they have the over-under at 46.5. But the Carolina Panthers are the worst in almost every category, but they really struggle versus the running back. So they're 32nd in every single category versus the running back. When I'm looking at the quarterback, they give up 21.4 points per game. So Baker's a must start there. 29th on the season, 29th in the red zone. So his defense is very bad across the board. 234.3 yards allowed and 1.9 passing TDs. I expect Cade Otton. I expect Cade Otton to get back involved. Mike Evans to have a big game here. I'm just a little worried that it could be a Bucky Rashad, runaway run game here, because that's what every team does to Carolina. Quarterback number 8 is going to be smoking Joe Burrow. And they're back healthy off the bye, getting T. Higgins another day here. They are going to get a tough matchup with the Pittsburgh Steelers. They have the over-under at 47.5. And when you have Jamar Chase and T. Higgins out there and Chase Brown the way he's playing, it really doesn't matter. I know they're going up against the Steelers defense, which is one of the top defenses. They're number 1 versus the quarterback, giving up 11.7 points. They're number 1 on the season and number 7 in the red zone. So it is going to be a tough matchup, but I do not care. Joe Burrow is absolutely lights out, quarterback 2 on the year, and you're not sitting this guy if you have him no matter what. Quarterback number 9, the most impressive of the year so far, probably the best rookie of this class. It is Bo Nix. You're going to get Monday Night Football here. They're going to get the Cleveland Browns at home. And this could be a kind of ugly grunge fest game here. Myles Garrett trying to get Defensive Player of the Year, but still, with the heater that Bo Nix is on, I'm not sitting this guy at all. And Cleveland versus the quarterback gives up 20.5 points. That ranks 25th. They're 26th on the season, but that front 7 is very nasty. They rank 3rd in the red zone, so it does get stingy when they get inside the 20 there. 232.1 yards allowed passing, and they also give up 1.4 passing TDs a game. And Bo Nix uses his legs. Cortland Sutton, the connection is growing to the roof. You're starting this guy no matter what at this point. Quarterback number 10 is going to be Patrick Mahomes, coming off his big game last week with the big run at the end of the game to barely beat the Carolina Panthers, which kind of shows you. I've always thought that these Chiefs were like a 9-0, 9-1 fraud now that Josh Allen beat them. And this week, the Kansas City Chiefs are going to get another just cakewalk matchup here. You're going to get the Las Vegas Raiders. The Las Vegas Raiders give up 18.6 to the quarterback. That ranks 24th. They're 31st in the red zone, second last, 224.1 passing yards, and almost 2 passing touchdowns a game. Patrick Mahomes, I know they may get Pacheco back in this game. They'll probably limit him. I'll get to that in my running back video. Patrick Mahomes, absolute start this week versus the Raiders. Everyone's a start versus the Raiders. Number 11 is going to be Kyler Murray. He's going to be one of my big bounce back players this week. And I know when you're looking at the matchup, they're going against Minnesota, and you think that Minnesota Vikings defense is good, which they are, because they blitz heavy and they do keep the quarterback points low, right? But we got to look at this 2 different ways here. So 15.1 points to the quarterback they allow, which is 11th. They're 11th on the season, 22nd in the red zone, so the numbers get higher there because they blitz so much off the edge that it opens up rushing lanes for the quarterbacks, right? So this is why I like Kyler Murray this week. But here's the thing. They give up 265.1 passing yards a game, which is fourth worst in the NFL, and 1.5 passing TDs. So I expect Marvin Harrison to finally get it going here. It is going to be a tough day for James Conner on the ground, but I will get to that in my running back side. Quarterback number 12 is going to be CJ Stroud. And this one was very, very hard for me to rank, guys, because when I'm looking at it, you're playing the Jacksonville Jaguars. And this is your fantasy football pot of gold. I have 3 defenses that you start everyone against. And the Jaguars are one of them. But they're going to get Trevor Lawrence back. And CJ Stroud is struggling. I mean, it's just tough. And I have Nico Collins probably as my wide receiver 1 this week, thinking you should throw out CJ Stroud. And I really want to rank him in the baller tier, but he's not producing baller tier numbers. So even when you look at the Jacksonville Jaguars, they're 32nd, dead last versus the quarterback, gives up 22.9 points. Dead last on the season, 25th in the red zone, 288 pass yards a game, which is third worst, and 2.1 passing touchdowns, which is dead last. Everything screams smash CJ Stroud here. He's just struggling right now. It's very tough for me to rank him higher than this right now. 13 and 14, we're going to stick with the same game here on Thanksgiving tomorrow. The Green Bay Packers versus the Miami Dolphins. Tua Tagovailoa is 0-7 in cold weather, guys. I know he's balling with 20+ in his past 2 games, and Tyreek Hill hasn't done much. Jalen Waddle found a little groove last week, and Jonnu Smith, my guy I've been talking about since week 1, has finally arrived. But you get the Green Bay Packers. Their defense is 7th versus the quarterback, giving up 13.4, 6th on the season, 12th in the red zone, 223.6 pass yards, and 1.3 passing TDs. And if the Dolphins want to save their season here, Tua is going to have a big game in the snow. This is just how it's going to be right here. On Jordan Love's side, the Miami Dolphins are number 3 versus the quarterback, 12.4 points, number 4 on the season, number 2 in the red zone. This defense is very good. 211.6 pass yards, only 1 pass TD a game. It's going to be a freezing cold game. I think it's going to be a lot of Achane and a lot of Josh Jacobs in this game. But with the Dolphins season on the line, I'm still going to put Tua in my top 15 at number 13. Quarterback number 15 is going to be Brock Purdy. And, man, my 49ers, man, we're in trouble here. Going at Buffalo. Looks like the game is going to be in the cold. Looks like it may even snow in this game, which would really slow down all of our weapons that we have offensively. And when you're looking at Buffalo's defense versus the quarterback, they rank top 10. They rank 8th, giving up 13.7, 6th on the season, 12th in the red zone. So about a top 8 to 9 defense all the way around. 223.6 yards, 1.3 passing TDs. And when you're looking at a game in the snow, it really hurts Debo, really hurts Kittle, helps CMC, helps the running game. But you have Josh Allen who's going to run, and Purdy's not much of a runner like Josh Allen. Josh Allen's built like a brick shithouse. He's huge. So it's just tough to rank Purdy in this game. I really want to rank him higher, but I just can't. Quarterback number 16, Anthony Richardson. I had him as a smash play last week. He did not hit it, even with the Detroit Lions corners that were all injured. I mean, all their freaking starters were out, and it did not happen. And I told you Jonathan Taylor was going to have a struggle game. That was a hit, but I definitely missed on Richardson. But now you get the New England Patriots. They give up 16.6 points per game. That ranks 18th, 22nd on the season, 23rd in the red zone, 237 pass yards, 1.7 passing TDs. And I know Josh Downs isn't going to be out there. It looks like that's going to hurt him a little bit. You could have Chris Gonzalez on Pittman. Maybe it opens up for Pierce or Adonai Mitchell here. But I think him and JT is going to be a nasty run game duel here for the Patriots to stop. And I like the Colts to try and fight back for their season here. And Anthony Richardson, my quarterback 16. Quarterback 17 is going to be Matt Stafford and the LA Rams, who are fighting now. This is NFC West is tight as it gets. 5-5, 5-5, 6-5, 6-5. Big game here. You get the Saints in a dome. There's no weather here. And Matt Stafford had a good game against the Eagles, even though I know he saved it in garbage time with the Cooper Kupp touchdown to get him to 19 points. You get the Saints here. Then the Saints, they rank 10th versus quarterback, giving up 15 points. 10th on the season. They do rank 1st in the red zone. That front seven is very good. But they also traded away Lattimore. So these numbers are a little different here. And when you have Cooper Kupp, Puka Nacua, Kyron Williams, I'm starting Matt Stafford no matter what it is because these weapons are just too good. Number 18, he's bouncing back here. Caleb Williams. They finally got rid of Shane Waldron, which we talked about on our shows of how bad he's going to be offensive coordinator for the team. Took them too long to fire him, probably ruined their season. But they've been fighting with two playoff teams back to back here, almost got big dubs against both of them. Now you're going to get a game here with the Detroit Lions. And I'm taking the Bears in the points in this game. It's at, 48.5, 9.5 for Detroit. And the Bears beat the Lions a lot on Thanksgiving. They show up in this game, and I feel like it's going to be a lot closer than people think. And the Detroit Lions versus the quarterback, they do keep the points down. They rank 6th. They give up 13.3. They rank 5th on the season and 5th in the red zone. Very tough defense, right? But what you have to look at is the yards they give to the wide receiver is 242.5, which is bottom 5 in the NFL. So expect Caleb Williams and the way he's looked lately to have a big game here and be a start of a quarterback. Number 19 is going to be Geno Smith, the Seattle Seahawks here. Now, the Seattle Seahawks are going to get the Jets off a bye. The Jets, this defense you could say is good on paper, but they have not been good on the season. So they rank 15th, giving up 16.1, 15th on the season, 14th in the red zone, about middle of the pack all the way. 197.2 yards, which is second best. But again, it doesn't show up on paper. So, the Jets could fight here to try and save their season, and they'd have to win out every single game. I don't see that happening. I see Seattle taking this game. Aaron Rodgers is kind of out of it. And I just think Geno Smith is a decent play, not a great play this week because it is a tough matchup. But again, Seattle is fighting with everybody in the NFC West. So if you need to throw them out there, you can. Number 20 is going to be Sam Darnold. Now, this guy has just been putting up numbers against good defenses back to back. I've missed on him twice here now. You get the Arizona Cardinals. The Arizona Cardinals versus the quarterback right now. It's going to be a matchup where you're looking at it like, it's the Arizona Cardinals. Their defense has gotten way better as the season's gone on. They're number 12 versus the quarterback, giving up 15.5 points a game, 12th on the season, 17th in the red zone, and they give up 235.2 pass yards and 1.1 passing TDs a game. And Justin Jefferson has been really quiet. Jordan Addison was wide receiver 1 last week. TJ Hawkinson popped. Aaron Jones popped. They have all the weapons, and they signed Daniel Jones, so if anything happens to Sam Darnold, they have a little backup piece, even though I don't think Daniel Jones is any good. But still, I'm going to put him in my top 20. Although the matchup isn't great, again, he's doing better and better every single week. Number 21 is going to be Drake May and the New England Patriots. And again, the Patriots, man, they just need to give this guy some weapons here. You're going to get the Indianapolis Colts without Josh Downs. The Indianapolis Colts defense is that fantasy football pot of gold I talk about. They can't stop the quarterback, the running back, the wide receiver, the tight end, nothing. So when you're looking at it, they rank 17th versus the quarterback, giving them 16.6, 21st on the season, 24th in the red zone. It's about a top 20 defense all the way around. 247.2 yards, which is bottom 10, and 1.3 passing TDs. Now, he's also going to give you the rushing upside as well, which is what you like in fantasy football. You're in a game here where it could be a little cold. I could factor into the passing game, make him run a little more. But Drake May is one of those sneaky plays that is hard for me to rank, so I put him at 21. Quarterback number 22, the guy I've been talking about for so many weeks now. When are people going to start listening about Will Mayonnaise Levis? 3 straight 20-point games against great defenses. You get the Commanders here, and the Commanders are sliding. But there's one plus for the Commanders. They may get Marshawn Lattimore back this week, which will really help against Calvin Ridley. Now, when you're looking at the Commanders defense, they've gotten better as the season's gone on. They do rank 19th, giving up 16.6 points. They used to rank at like 28th, 30th in the first 4 weeks till they switched to single high. That's why Dan Quinn is, in my opinion, coach of the year with the rookie quarterback and what they're doing. But they rank 23rd on the season, 16th in the red zone, 204.5 pass yards, 1.6 passing TDs. And Will Levis has been averaging about 20 to 25 yards rushing here for the past 4 games as well. So he adds that on top to go with it. Quarterback number 23, Derek Carr, fresh off the bye with the Saints. They're going to get the Rams at home, but he doesn't really have any weapons. You have Kamara, you have Taysom Hill. I don't believe in the Valdez-Scantling and how he's popping off. The injuries just pile up. Chris Olave looks like he could come back week 15, and we don't know. Bub Meme still on IR. Their whole team, Rashid Shaheed is out. It's just been a nightmare year for the Saints. But they're fighting back. They got 2 straight wins coming off the bye. They might get a little healthier here. Not a bad throw in here, but the Rams defense ranks 13th, giving up 15.7, 13th in the season, 10th in the red zone. So about a top, 11 or 12 defense. They're very good. 239.4 pass yards and 1.7 pass TDs. Carr could be a dart throw play if you need one, but with, no one on a bye, I don't think I'm putting Carr out there. Number 24 is going to be Kirk. Oh, you like that Cousins versus the LA Chargers this week. Now, this is not a good matchup here for Kirk Cousins, but the Chargers, they did just get, slapped by Lamar Jackson, of course, with a rushing touchdown. So they dropped to the 20th at 16.8 points per game, but they're 9th in the red zone. So about a top 14 to 15 defense. And they have had Khalil Mack out. A lot of their, offense or defensive line out to get after him. Looks like they're going to be back. There's no weather here in this game. You're going to be in a dome. That defense is going to be a lot more electric. And I'm trying to stay away from Kirk if I can this week. 25 is going to be Jameis Winston, Monday Night Football versus the Broncos. And I've been saying this all year. This is the scariest defense to go up against. They rank 4th versus the quarterback, giving up 13 points a game. 6th in the red zone, 217.9 yards, 1.1 TDs. And I don't like this game for Jameis, even though Jerry Jeudy's starting to pick up. Tillman could be back off the concussion because it was an early game. We don't know there. And Njoku, he's got the weapons. Nick Chubb looked good last week too. I just don't trust anything versus the Denver defense. And I think Pat Surtain is going to lock up Jerry Jeudy. You're going to get a different look there. Number 26, Aaron, the old man Rodgers. I don't know what to do with this guy, man. I mean, you get the Seahawks here. And the Seahawks, like I said, they were a fraud defense, but somehow they held the Cardinals to 6 points last week. So that was interesting to me. But when you're looking at Seattle, they rank 14th, getting up 16.1, 21st in the red zone, 231.6 pass yards, which is bottom 15 and 1.3 TDs. It just depends on what Aaron Rodgers shows up and how the Jets show up. And you got Breece Hall banged up early right now. I mean, Garrett Wilson and Devontae should eat in this game. Just do you trust the Jets? Because I do not. Number 27, this is one of my bold calls of the week here, is Jared Goff is a very, very low quarterback of mine this week, especially short week. Montgomery banged up, he's going to be out there. Amon-Ra banged up, he's going to be out there. You're playing the Chicago Bears, who allow 12.3 points to the quarterback. That is number 2 on the season. They are number 4 in the red zone. They only allow 225.5 pass yards and under a touchdown a game to wide receivers. I think this is going to be Jahmyr Gibbs, David Montgomery game here. This Bears defense is very good, and I'm trying to stay away from Goff this week if I can. Number 28, and this one is very tough as well. You get the Houston Texans here, and they're coming off a bye. Obviously, they've lost Gabe Davis. Obviously, they've lost I'm blanking right now. Calvin Ridley out of town. BTJ out there. Oh, Christian Kirk. That's what I was looking for. And when you get the Houston Texans, this defense gets after the quarterback. They do keep the quarterback points at about middle of the pack at 16.2, given, number 8 in the red zone, so about a top 13 to 14 defense there. But they give up 215 pass yards a game with 2 passing TDs. So the opportunity will be here. It just depends on how this game goes with Trevor Lawrence coming off injury. And I just don't trust the Jacksonville Jaguars with the season over. Number 29 is going to be Cooper Rush against the New York Giants. And this New York Giants front is not as bad as people think. It's just their offense doesn't move the ball. So their defense gets tired out and they're out there a lot. They rank 7th. They give up 17.4, which ranks 23rd, 11th in the red zone. So you can see that front 7 is good. It's about a top 13 to 14 defense, 215 yards and 1.1 passing TDs. Now, you're going to get CeeDee Lamb. Hopefully, he's going to see 12, 13, 15 targets. You're just not going to get that big CeeDee Lamb ceiling. And it looks like Jake Ferguson's not going to make it out there. Luke Shoemaker could be out there again, dart throw tight end if you need, but New York Giants are number 1 versus the tight end, so very tough there. And they may get Brandon Cooks back as well, which could help there. I still just don't trust Cooper Rush. Number 30 is going to be Bryce Young, who had the Chiefs, man. He was right there. That run by him or Patrick Mahomes and the field goal, of course, to seal the deal. They're going to get the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. And if you need a dart throw play, Tampa Bay is 31st versus the quarterback, giving them 22 points a game. they're 28th in the red zone, 273.6 pass yards a game. They allow 1.8 passing TDs. Do you trust Bryce Young? I mean, I don't think this guy's had 20 fantasy points since he's became a rookie. I don't trust him. I know they're getting a little better. Panthers are hanging in games, but I'm staying away. Number 31 is going to be Tommy DeVito. Gets the Dallas Cowboys, and that Dallas Cowboys defense kind of showed up with a kick return, but their defense still isn't that good. They ranked 28th, giving up 20.7, 30th in the red zone, 234 pass yards, 1.5 passing TDs. It could be Drew Lock. I don't trust either one of them. Malik Neighbors is losing his mind in his interview, saying it's not just the quarterback. We got to start from top down and break this thing down. It doesn't look good for the Giants. Even with Danny Dimes now in Minnesota, it's wraps. Number 32, Aiden O'Connell is going to be the starting quarterback for the Las Vegas Raiders, but it's not a great matchup. You get the Kansas City Chiefs, but versus the quarterback, they give up 16.9, which ranks 22nd, 18th in the season, 20th in the red zone, 225 pass yards, and 1.4 passing TDs. You're going to have Jacoby Myers, Brock Bowers, no run game. It looks like Amir Abdullah, maybe the guy again here was Zamir White, and Alexander Madison not even practicing yet. Again, it's early in the week. Got to watch for it. I'm not starting Aiden O'Connell in any single way. The Raiders season is done. They're playing for Shadur Sanders next year and possibly Dion as a head coach. Thanks for rocking with me today, guys. That is the end of the episode. That is my week 13 quarterback rankings. Every single match. Remember, no team is on a bye this week. And it's been just a nightmare recovering everything, but it looks like I may make it all before Thursday. So I'll have my running back, wide receiver, and tight end rankings. I will not be able to get to the start sit-ems anymore this year, guys. Making up all the designs and 3,000 files that I lost, it's just been absolutely crazy. And the holidays are coming, Thanksgiving, Christmas, and all that. But I will get all my rankings out, and I will get my smash start and sleeper, guys. And before you head out, make sure you smash that like button, hit that subscription, turn that bell on. It helps me out a ton. And remember, if you can't make the live show tomorrow before the kickoff games, you can drop any comment you want down below, and I try to get to every single one of them, guys. And that's it for me. SleezBall out. I'll catch you guys in the next episode.